I think in real estate, the most important thing is...
So the big question is, what are top agents doing to absolutely crush it in real estate, grow their teams and add more transactions year over year while so many struggle? To get the answers, we interview top real estate agents to learn their secrets to success. Listen, we believe every agent should make a minimum of $100,000 per year, and we're on a mission to make this happen. We've already helped over 100 agents achieve this with our coaching. So if you want to fast track your business growth, get to your first $100,000 in GCI or add another $100,000 in GCI using social strategies, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com, or you can just click the link in the description below. Also, just make sure to follow us, hit that subscribe button, and if you get any value from this at all, please tell a friend and leave us a review. My name is Andrew Dunn.
And my name is Peter Michael. Welcome to Elite Agent Secrets.
You talked about having a niche then and, having a certain type of buyer. And I think this is a nice transition into your third topic here, which is actually, you've touched on duck hunting and all these other. So your third topic is about selling in niche market. Now, niche market can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. Obviously, with what you're selling, it's very specific. A lot of people in niche market might be luxury. That's their niche, right?
Yes, for sure.
But talk to me, or talk to us, talk to everyone about some of the intricacies of selling niche properties, selling in niche markets that you found.
So just to rewind a few seconds, I told you sort of my background. I grew up in a family real estate company, and I'm sitting there one day, and literally I'm invested in the training. I'm starting to sort of put these fundamentals together in my mind about the price, condition, location, about really figuring out how to help sellers. And, I work at this small town brokerage. My father doesn't even have a website at the time. And I'm thinking, man, I've got to figure out something to rebrand myself, to reposition myself. And I started looking at national real estate franchises. Realtor.com publishes an annual review of all the real estate franchises, and they sort of lay them all out, and they tell the number of agents, number of offices, sort of what they do. And I came across this United Country, and it said small towns, rural America, not 500 offices, 5,000 agents across the country. I'm like, okay, start looking at where their offices are, and they're in towns that you've never heard of. Milan, Tennessee, for example, where we are, Macomb, Mississippi, Elk City, Oklahoma, just these rural places across the map where people live, right? Buy houses, sell farms. And it had this little thing. It said niche properties is special property groups. I was like, special property groups. Tell me a little bit more about special property groups. So I start, doing the research and learning. And I'm thinking, man, this is really cool. So I'll tell you about these special property groups. United Country is the only real estate company that I've ever known of or heard of that sells property by type first. So if you go to any other sort of website, any of the big names, Remax.com, CaldwellBanker.com, Century21.com, any real estate company.com, what you're going to find is a little different branding, color scheme, whatever. But at the end of the day, what's similar between all of these is that you search real estate, there's a search bar, and you search real estate by city, state, and address. Okay, fine. Well, what if I am in California and I'm watching this podcast and I'm like, man, this guy, are you kidding me? 56 state parks, Tennessee, no income. What? I want to move to Tennessee. Where do I want to move in Tennessee? Because I don't want to live in Nashville, or maybe I just want a country home. So you don't know where to search, right? But you want a certain property type. So what was interesting about United Country is that they search properties by type, or they index properties by type. And we have 39 special property groups. Some of those examples are log homes, waterfront properties, ranches, mountain properties, historical homes, hospitality properties, equine, timber properties, poultry barns, vineyards, small town, commercial, and international. But the search begins by what instead of where. So where you can search by where on our websites, but it starts with what? Because when you want a log cabin, and you want it, where in Tennessee, but where in Tennessee? You don't know how to search for a town you've never heard of. Most log cabins in Tennessee are not in towns that you've heard of. Okay. They're not in Nashville. I got news for you. They're not close to Broadway. They're not. So searching property in the rural markets is a little different. And there is this great migration, not only to Tennessee and not only Florida, but to rural America, because that's who doesn't have the restrictions. That's who still goes to school during COVID. That's who, don't shut your businesses down. That's where people want to go. Right. And so, indexing the property by type is the sort of the main differentiator. What we've done is we've built you're going to have to excuse me. We're going to get into the tech space a little bit here. And I'm not a tech person. I sort of understand the 30,000 viewpoint, but it's all about keyword optimization, SEO, which I'm sure you guys are familiar with. But and I'll challenge you to do this. Log homes for sale in Tennessee. I mean, you do that search right now. And what we've done is we've built the back office so that we can land on page one, because we realized that when people search Google, 98% or 99% of all real estate searches now take place on Google. That's just where they go. They may end up on Zillow, but they start at Google. That's where they all start. If you're not on the first page, you might as well not even exist, right? We understand that too with respect to Google. That's how Google searches work. You have to be on the first page. So our company has built out an amazing infrastructure to sort of capitalize on that. And farms for sale, country homes for sale, vineyards for sale. And so our sort of back office or our platform is built on that idea. And
so one thing that's interesting about you've mentioned this throughout this conversation we've had, is like you are like heavily involved and invested in like social strategies and tech and like the modern way of doing things. Like you're not like, yeah, I'm sending out loads of flyers. You're like, no, I need to be on the first page of Google for like Log Homes Tennessee. If I'm going to promote my business, it's like, well, I'll use social media. I'll use videos to promote it. Like this is the best way to now get me out there.
Well,
like you aren't stuck in your ways. It's like, I'm using the modern shit out there because this modern stuff really does work, and it works very, very well.
You're correct. But it's interesting you say that, because I want to show you something. And this is like our national real estate catalog. And I take this to every listing appointment too, because there is something about putting this in someone's hand. This is a very well, professionally produced and printed full color magazine. It's got all of our listings throughout the country. And this used to be our differentiator before Google. This was why we were different. We have a national real estate catalog, and we were the only company to do that. And we would put these out in airports and in dentist offices, doctor's office all around the country, ship them out. And that's how people would contact us. And that magazine started being published in 1925. That's how old our company is, by the gentleman that founded it named Roscoe Chamberlain. And the original one of these is in the Smithsonian, in DC. Yeah. So it's cool. I mean, we don't publish as many. We used to 12 years ago or 10 years ago when I started with United Country, we published this quarterly. We only publish it twice a year. Now we understand, especially in this market, by the time this magazine is published, none of the listings in it are even here anymore. They're all sold. But that's what's happening right now, And
that's the same issue that we have. It's like our inventory is the lowest it has ever been.
Yeah, it's for sure.
So marketing a property, one of the things I'm a little bit curious to just wrap it all up in like a nice pretty bow is that's part of your marketing. What other components that are part of your marketing that you have to do or you don't get to do because the properties just aren't on the market for as long? Because you have a marketing plan and you talk to your sellers about it. What are some of those components that you have to do versus optional, or, how long is even the marketing plan?
So I really feel, if there's something we can do, why aren't we doing it, is my approach. And I don't think about ways that, I guess one small example is sort of a Matterport. If you guys are familiar with this Matterport, this 3D thing, that's a marketing piece that, you could do on every single, especially with our, we sell so many out of state, and it makes it so convenient for someone to be able to look through a property without actually having to book a trip to come down here first, and get a very real and transparent look at it. We use professional photography on every listing. I don't care if it's a mobile home that looks like it should be torn down. I'm going to have it professionally photographed. And I mean, literally last week I sold a $45,000 mobile home. And on the very next day, sold a $450,000 home. And I did a post like big or small, I'll sell them all. And with the same amount of pride, determination, enthusiasm, no matter what, because everybody deserves that. And if you start trying to pick and choose, what you're going to use all your marketing resources on versus just a few, and I'll spare a little here or there. No, everybody deserves the highest level of sort of performance and marketing that we can give them. Obviously, it's not necessary sometimes to do everything. I don't. I try to make a video on every property, and you're like, there's been points and times throughout the last year, frequently, where the lady and our video is nothing. Most of the time, it's a slideshow. I'm just trying to create content to put on YouTube. Just because the more content you have, the more of an authority you are on the subject matter, right? According to what I understand about how these algorithms work, right? And so, a lot of times I've got the video produced. Well, the house is already sold before the video is even produced, but I just mark it on there sold. Still leave the video up, active, run as in perpetuity for as long as time, until the internet quits, I guess, because I can't have enough content, online. But I feel like we owe every property, every client, everything we have every time. That's just the mentality that I'm operating with until somebody, takes my will.
I love that. Big or small, we'll sell them all. That should be your slogan.
Dude, I was about to say it. Like, it just rolled off your tongue, which means you said it more than once.
And I'm proud of it. People are like, man, there's some people like, this is an ego-driven business, and I understand that. But again, you're looking at a guy, talking to a guy that is nothing. He has no shortage of confidence, right? But there has to be a little bit of humility too, because I think in real estate, the most important thing is to be likable. And I say that. I guess if I'm I'm a little naive. If I'm a multi-million-dollar investor, I almost want the biggest asshole, being my guy, but people down here on the ground where in the rural market that I serve, in the place that I am, people want to do business with people that they like more than anything else. That's what I found. So just try to be authentic with people. I'm wearing a coat for this thing, but I wear a coat maybe one out every 7 days. I don't not ever not wear a coat.
I was going to say, we're sitting here with the hoodies. I got the dog snoozing in the background. We're super casual.
Yeah. I wear a hoodie a lot. I hesitate to tell you this, but my professor told me in college one time when I went back to school, by the way, finished up my degree at Union in 2011, sort of helped me put together my strategic thinking. It's really where I became a strategic thinker, is when I went to go finish my degree. I earned a degree in a Bachelor of Science in Organizational Leadership. So it's nothing, no sort of, game-changing, world-changing degree, but helped me understand the strategic planning model, how to strategically think. And one of my professors told me one time, and I'm really not sure how to take this, and you guys may laugh and be like, man, she called you stupid. But she told me, she said, Bradley, she said, you don't have the highest IQ of anybody that I've ever taught, but you may have the highest EQ of anybody that I've ever taught. And I'm scratching my head like I've never heard of EQ. She's like, EQ, emotional core, emotional intelligence. She's like, you just can talk to anybody. You can relate to anybody. It doesn't matter, who they are, what they are, where they come from, what they believe. It's just, you can have a conversation with anybody. And so I just try to be friendly, man. I just try to treat people like that I want to be treated. And then, I'm not just, I say this, when I go on an appointment, I'm not there necessarily to do business. I expect, you called me to do business, but I'm in the relationship building business. Business. I said that with my Southern draw, and it went fast, but real estate, relationship, they're harmonious. Real estate is a relationship driven business. And I'm just focusing on the relationship, and the business is just, is sort of a byproduct of having built a good relationship. And I guess here's the key. And I learned this from real estate, but it ties it all together. A coach, understanding the lifetime value of a client. I can't overemphasize that. I can't overemphasize this. Understand the lifetime value of a client. The average lifetime value of a client, according to Jared James, who's one of my real estate coaches, is $117,000. People don't do one real estate transaction in their life. They do 5 to 7. People change houses now every 5 to 7 years. It's the greatest wealth building tool, home ownership, and just continuing to buy and appreciating market and sell and, keep some of your income. But most of my transactions nowadays come from repeat business, because I'm not looking to build a whole lot of new business. I'm looking to build my team, and people underneath in our brokerage. So, I'm passive a lot of times, but I'm always going to take the repeat business. I'm never not going to, do business again from someone that it went well with before. And so understanding that and never forgetting that, and then just build relationships and let the business take care of itself. When you build relationships, the business takes care of itself.
Absolutely. So what I want to do, that was amazing. We couldn't agree more. It's a long-term game, and you build leverage, and that's what we're all striving to achieve. It just takes everyone a bit more time. But what I want to do is I want to give you the floor here. People want to move, if they're moving to Tennessee, they want to buy or sell a home, maybe connect with you, learn a bit more about what you're doing over there, or whatever else you got going on. How could they reach out, whether it's phone, email, website, socials? Tell the people where you're at.
So, we're at UC Southern Lifestyle on Facebook and Instagram. We are at movemetoTennessee.com on the web. That's our website, our listings. And our YouTube channel is United Country Southern Lifestyle Properties on YouTube. If you just put that in the search bar. And subscribe to our YouTube channel. I would ask that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. One of the goals I have of this year is to try to grow that subscriber audience to 1,000. I think we're only at 315 right now. We've just really gotten started on that last year, and making a commitment to produce a video for every listing, even if it's no more than, again, a slideshow, just to have content. I think video, every real estate coach, advisor, anybody I'm talking to that knows anything about it's video. And do not overconsume yourself with this idea that you don't like the way you sound or the way you look on video, because newsflash, that is the way you look on video, and the sound on video is the way you look and sound in person. So don't overthink it.
Yeah.
A lot of people's like, I don't like the way I look or sound on video. I'm like, well, that's the way it is. I mean, it's just,
I know we always find it weird hearing ourselves, don't we? But Bradley, thank you for coming on the show with us today. Thank you for sharing your secrets to success. Everyone, we hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, if you're listening to this and you aren't making over $100,000 per year in GCI, and you're looking for a predictable system to get you there, then head over to go.eliteagentsecrets.com.